Today we'll be talking about liner installation. The first thing that we'll be talking about, this is the leaf shield right here. It goes on your inlet side where your downspout will come down into this. This is the inlet piping. This is the inlet elbow, screw elbow that goes into the bulkhead, which we'll talk about. This is the mosquito shield. This is the inlet, and it's made out of stainless because it's inside of the tank. This is the mosquito shield overflow or outlet. It's made out of galvanized or finished depending on the coating on your tank or the finish of your tank. PVC glue, and we recommend that you use a clear cleaner so you don't have all the purple on the outside of the pipes. This is the thread sealant, which we'll be using on all of the threaded parts of the tank. This is your bulkhead fittings right here, and let's talk about these bulkhead fittings. The righty-tighty, lefty-loosey rule doesn't work on these. You got to go clockwise to take the nut off and counterclockwise to tighten it down. And one important thing is you want to be sure that you have the direction arrow facing out on the 3-inch and also the hose. This is the 3/4 inch. Again, you'll see the tighten arrow. Same thing. To loosen it, it's clockwise. To tighten it, it's counterclockwise. These are the hose bib fittings, which will be going into the 3/4 inch bulkheads at the bottom of the tank. These go on the inside of the tank on the bulkheads, and what these are is they allow you to get the water off of the bottom of the tank. And here's the liner. The liner will come with the bulkhead fittings already in place. All you need to do prior to installation is to be sure and remove the nuts on them. On the 3/4, you have a washer that you need to be sure and remove. This goes on the outside of the tank. So this will drop down inside, you'll push it through the tank wall, and then the washer will go on, and then the nut will go on there. Okay, as you see, the lid has been removed from the tank, and what you want to be sure and do before you install the liner is make sure there are no metal shavings at all along this top rail, because if there are metal shavings and you install your liner, they could fall down inside of it and cause rust spots. What we're going to show you is a close-up of this is the liner track, and this is the liner and how it fits inside. You can see on the track there's a lip on it, and the same thing on the liner, and it just pushes inside, and then the weight of it holds it down. That's what you're going to see us doing when we install the liner. Okay, we're going to be installing the liner, and one thing you want to make sure before you install the liner, that on top of your foam that there's no bolts that you've dropped or any rocks or anything like that. So you want to visually inspect it and make sure there is nothing down inside of it that could protrude into the liner. Okay, we are good. So we are ready to install the liner. One thing that you want to make sure is that you don't hang it on any of the corners or anything. So pick it up, drop it inside, and then take your 3-inch bulkhead, slide it in the hole, and it'll hold itself there. And you can take your nut and put on there. Remember, the holes are out, and you also want to be able to see your tighten arrow. So just go ahead and start that, and that'll hold it in place, and then you can begin installing your liner. And it just like I showed earlier, it goes right into the liner track, and the weight of the liner will hold itself in. Leave your corners loose. Because you want to work all your excess material towards your corners. Okay, you see I have access down here. So I'll pull it down to this corner. Pull up and in on the corners, make sure they're in good. The liner is installed. Okay, now we're ready to tighten the bulkhead fittings down. And remember that to tighten it down, you have to go counterclockwise. We'll start by doing the top one. And one thing that you want to make sure is the guy that's, or the lady that's inside the tank needs to be sure that they're not wearing shoes. They need to be in their socks or barefooted, because you don't want to do anything to puncture the inside of the liner. What their job is to watch and make sure that we don't spin the whole fitting on the inside and bunch up the liner. So they're going to watch that as we tighten this down. On the 3-inch, the big bulkheads, you want to take them in and get them hand tight. And then you want to take and put you some screwdrivers in there. Phillips screwdrivers work well for this. And then you want to get this fitting as tight as you can by hand. So get that as tight as you can by hand. Now we're going to go down to the bottom. And we're going to be putting, this is where we send this wrench. You'll get this wrench. And it's really important to remember to keep your arrow side out. Put your washer on first. And then your nut. Remember, tightens counterclockwise. You want to tighten this down, hand tight. Get it hand tight, and then you want to go 1/4 of a turn. So kind of mark yourself and then go 1/4 turn tight. And that's all there is to that right there. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, counterclockwise, hand tight, as tight as you can get it by hand. Take your screwdrivers, put them in the hole, and then tighten it more, as much as you can get it. Going to the bottom, washer out, look at your nut, make sure you see your tighten arrow, counterclockwise. Get it hand tight, and then go 1/4 of a turn. The bulkhead fittings are installed.